The future of education involves global collaboration and a focus on sustainability, emphasizing education for sustainable development to equip students with the knowledge, skills, and values needed to address global challenges. This includes integrating sustainability into curricula, fostering partnerships between schools and communities, and promoting international collaboration. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the International English Language Teachers Association, India's webinar series number 11. And today's topic, the future of schools, is global collaboration for a sustainable future. Today's agenda. So today we're going to have an agenda about Ielta India, introduction of the moderator, instructions and rules. The webinar starts with the introduction of the speaker and question answer session, reflections, selfie time, and felicitations, followed by a vote of thanks. Next slide. So officially, we have been registered and International English Language Teachers Association. Next slide. We have existed in 80 countries now. Next slide. We have internal departments for India. That is academic department, teachers development department, research department, and learners department, international affairs department. These are all international, Ielta international departments. Apart from this, just next slide. Yes, we have our dignitaries, honorable dignitaries in the Ielta International Board. Dr. Neil from Peru is the president, and Ms. Sola from Lebanon, the vice president, and Dr. Afshin from Pakistan, general secretary, Dr. Glenn, Philippines, academic department, Mr. Abazani from Ghana, international affairs, and Dr. Carlo Mango is from Peru, administrative department. Next slide. These are the international team, board team. Next slide. And coming to Indian chapter, we have 7 board members, and then we have 96 members right now. Next slide. These are our team, a strong team of India, who's the backbone of our Indian operations. It's myself, Kalyani is the president and ambassador, Dr. Dhanam and Dr. Venkat are the executive director, advisory board members. Professor Raj is academic director for training, and Dr. Ram Kishan for the academic director is into L&D department, and Mrs. Christina is for as an academic administrative director, and Mr. Vishnu Nair is the IT and the tech director. Next slide. So coming to the moderator today, we have a very young, energetic, and into the teaching profession. She was my intern trainee for my projects previously, and also she was a former moderator of Ielta India webinars last year and before year. That is none other than Miss Erica. Put your full name, Erica. Yes, Erica Guan E. Rubuyo. So she is a moderator of today, and she's a licensed teacher professionally, and she's a Ielta Student Forum webinar member also, and Suchana project, that is a sustainable project former intern trainee. So with this, Erica, I would like to invite you, and you're already trained and experienced. We would like to invite you to go ahead as a moderator from here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kalyani, for that wonderful introduction. And
the PPT, the slide.
Okay. Once again, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dr. Dari. It's nice to see all of you here today. And of course, to welcome everyone to today's International English Language Teachers Association, we are proud to present the India's webinar number 11. And with today's topic, we have the future of schools, global collaboration for a sustainable future. And of course, we are thrilled to have you here as we explore the transformative power of education, innovation, and worldwide partnerships in shaping a better, greener, and more sustainable world. And of course, Before stepping into the honorable speaker's deliverables, let me share with you a few instructions and announcements that will guide us for today's webinar. All right, so everyone, our dear participants, kindly adhere to the simple instructions that will be rolled for this full webinar. Once again, we would like to welcome you all to Ielta's India's webinar number 11. And we are requesting everyone to please share your full name, your role in your organization, from which country you are representing on the chat box. So we are requesting everyone to please rename yourselves using your full name, your role in your organization, and from which country you are representing. Keep your mic in mute mode while you log in and during the webinar until the question and answer portion. You have to mention your real name and not any mobile number or pet names, which leads to restrict your entry to the webinar to avoid the cyber scams, and hopefully you will be supporting us on this. And you are also requested to post your valuable comments and queries in the comment chat box to the moderator. So you may just send your messages directly to me or in our chat box. Respect the speaker and, of course, do not disturb other participants with your inquiry on participation certificate, which will be shared at the end and it will be active for 30 minutes only. Again, while the seminar is ongoing, please do not ask for any participation certification as we will be sharing that later on. And we expect your analysis, of course, on today's speakers' deliverables. And you are invited, of course, to share your thoughts and new ideas with us. It would be a great encouragement for us as, of course, those who will be filing their participation certificate Google form, you will avail a certificate within an hour of applying the form. And remember that the participation certificate is an auto-generated form. Please write your correct spelling of your names as if you have not applying, it will not generate any certificate on your email. Kindly cooperate with us. Again, when it comes to certification link, we will be posting that after the seminar session. And of course, Ielta India is excited to announce their upcoming webinars. This is not the last webinar, as there are a lot of webinars upcoming. On 7th, mark this on your calendar, on 7th, 14th, and 21st of June at 9:30 p.m. New York time. So once again, we would like to remind everyone to please follow the instructions that we have set for this webinar. All right, so if you do have your inquiries, just post it on our chat box. And of course, without further ado, let us have this session officially. Let me introduce to you, of course, our dearest and beloved guest speaker, honorable speaker from the Philippines, Dr. Dari E. Dakanay. With over 20 years of experience in educational management, curriculum development, research pedagogies, educational technology, Dr. Dari is active in environment-related affairs in connection to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. He is currently working as a director for academics at St. Patrick's School of Quezon City, Philippines. He is a graduate of PhD in Educational Leadership and Management, and Dr. Dari also holds 2 master's degree in Educational Leadership and Management and in Theology. Also, Dr. Dari is a professor at the graduate school at Manuel L. Quezon University. And with this, of course, I would like to invite Dr. Dari E. Dakanay of Philippines to the Ielta India's webinar number 11. And please do the honor, Dr. Dari, as I welcome you on stage.
Wow, thank you very much, Erica. It's nice to see you again in virtually and together with Dr. Kalyani. It's been a long time that we've been together. And
Yes.
yeah, it's really nice to see you now as a professional teacher. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir. Actually, today marks the first anniversary when I
Happy,
passed my licensure examination.
yeah, hey, happy anniversary. We used to see
Thank you so
Erica
much.
as the intern, our intern before, and now she's now a professional teacher. It's really a very good achievement. Congratulations again, Erica.
Thank you so much, sir.
And also, Dr. Kalyani, thank you very much for inviting me. I am really very happy and excited to be part of Ielta India and sharing one of the things that I really love, which is global collaboration. And hopefully, in my presentation, I will be able to give you really um, insights on what I do and what I do with the school that I'm working with, the graduate school also. And hopefully, we'll be able to collaborate more all together. And let me share my slide to everyone. Okay, so the future of schools is global collaboration for a sustainable development. I said earlier, global collaboration is one of the things I really like to do, especially during the time of the pandemic. And after the pandemic, this really gave a lot of opportunities for me, and even in the school that I'm working in the Philippines, and opportunities also which I am sharing currently with my colleagues, not only in the Philippines, but the rest of the world. Now, before I start, global collaboration, there are so many reasons why many educators are not heavily involved in global collaborations today, despite the increasing interconnectedness of the world. There are certain barriers that keep us from getting into the global collaboration. Of course, the first is the lack of time. Many teachers often have tight schedules, which I'm also currently experiencing with the teachers I have in the Philippines, filled with, as teachers, you have the planning, instruction, grading, and even administrative tasks. Because global collaboration requires time for coordination, communication across the time zones that we have, and often extra preparations. Second is that limited training or exposure. Many educators have not been trained in how to initiate or manage global projects. This is not included in the teacher education curriculum as to how to manage global projects. They may also be unaware of platforms or networks that really support international collaboration. I see also technical or technological barriers because not all schools would have equal access to technology or reliable internet. I remember we had a collaboration with an African country. Okay, they tried their best really to collaborate with us, but unfortunately, because of the internet connection, we were really having some trouble or intermittent connections in terms of seeing them in real time. But it ended up okay because even if there was an internet connection, we were able to collaborate from a country in Africa. Of course, another issue would be the language and the cultural differences. Countries like Japan, Korea, the language barriers and the different educational standards and even expectations make collaboration difficult and sometimes intimidating on their part, especially without support. I also see curriculum constraints. Now, because of a standardized curriculum that we have in schools, and even the testing requirements and the rigid teaching goals can make it hard to fit global projects into the classroom. And that's why in the school that I'm working, what we did was to really integrate a day within a week for global collaborations. Another one is, I think, the perceived irrelevance. Some educators may not see the direct effect or even the relevance of global collaboration to their students' learning objectives, especially in more localized or an exam-driven context. And most likely, the last is institutional limitations. Schools or even districts may not prioritize global initiatives, or they may lack the policies or the guidelines that encourage or support international partnerships. I remember in the Philippines, partnerships, be it local or international, is part of the accreditation. And hopefully, in our presentation later on or now, we may be able to learn from the things that I will be sharing with everyone. Now, the current global educational system is marked by increasing efforts to improve, we all know this one, accessibility, inclusivity, and the quality of education through what we call the technological integration and even the policy reform. And many countries, Philippines, India, and the rest of the world, are shifting towards the competency-based learning and fostering, this is really very important, the 21st century skills, which include critical thinking, collaboration, and digital literacy. Now, international frameworks are also very important, like the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, for example, goal number 4, emphasizing inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. This is with the United Nations in 2015, and today is 2025, and 5 years from now, they will be reviewing again the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals if they really have targeted the so-called goals. However, there are disparities, and this remain due to the socio-economic inequalities, the digital divide, and the varying levels of government investment, which impact educational outcomes across regions. And in a world woven by shared challenges and the common dreams, true education begins when we collaborate beyond borders, where every classroom becomes a bridge and every student a global change maker. Now, this would be the content. We'll be talking about a few of the learning outcomes, the introduction, the literature, and the need for global collaboration. I'll be sharing best practices and how you are able to do initial global collaboration. Let me start first with this one. Countries are commonly measured on the effectiveness of their education system through international large-scale assessments, such as the following. We have the PISA, or this is the program for the International Student Assessment. We have the Trends in International Mathematics and Science Study, or the TIMSS, and the Progress in International Reading Literacy Studies, or what we call the PEARLS. Now, this assessment evaluates student achievement in key domains, which is very important: reading, mathematics, and science. And they also examine contextual factors such as the socio-economic background, the school resources, and the instructional practices being given to our students. Now, there are, let me share to you, all of you, the top 3 countries in the PISA 2022 global rankings. And we can be inspired with the following countries, such as Singapore. Singapore secured the highest scores across all the 3 assessed domains of mathematics, science, and reading from different countries. And this achievement reflects the country's robust education system with a strong emphasis on the foundational skills. And what was good about Singapore is their continuous curriculum refinement and a culture that values academic excellence. And Singapore's consistent improvement over time highlights its commitment to educational advancement. I'll be sharing with you a summary of why they have been number one consistently later on. Number two is Macau, or China, in China. They rank second overall, and the region's education system benefits from their bilingual curriculum and focus on both the local and international educational standards. And Macau's performance demonstrates the effectiveness on its policies in promoting a high academic achievement among students. The third is, wow, Taiwan. They place third globally, and they are also known for their rigorous academic standards, particularly in mathematics and science. And I remember when I get to visit Taiwan with a friend, Winnie, teacher Winnie, in Wanfu Elementary School, it's really very evident that they're very particular with mathematics and science, with their laboratories, with their classrooms, with the equipments that the school and the government provides with providing the students and the teachers. And again, their emphasis is the teacher quality and the student discipline contributes to its strong performance in the international assessments. And now with the TIMSS, this is the top performing countries in mathematics and science for grade 4 and grade 8 students. And you see here the top 3 countries. Singapore is also, again, number 1, followed by Taiwan. And here you see that we have South Korea. And their success is often attributed to a strong culture emphasis on education, dedicated teachers, and policies that support student achievement and equity. There are a lot of universities in Korea. I've been able to visit Jesuit universities. And when you get to enter the universities, really, the facilities, though they do not speak English, but in terms of their instruction to their students, it's really very good. And then we have the pearls. In pearls of usually the pearls, this is for the 4th grade students, and usually they do the assessment for the pearls every 5 years. Again, Singapore is on top. Ireland is in second because under literacy initiatives and support for reading development in primary education. And the third, we have Hong Kong. Hong Kong's education system continues to foster high levels of reading proficiency among students. And the big question here is that what is the connection of these global assessment organizations for a sustainable future? So why do we need to understand this assessment? Will it benefit us? Number one is we have to understand that we can use it for our benchmarking global educational standards. Remember, if you're not in the ranking or you're in the bottom part of the ranking, of course, you really need to be able to learn from the best. And the assessments provide comparable data across the countries, helping us educators and policymakers to understand where their education systems stand globally. And the connection to sustainability, nations that can identify and adopt the best practices from top-performing systems promote an equitable access to quality education, which is a very cornerstone of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 4. I remember Qatar, Qatar is very well known for their oil, but they shifted later on to education and to medicine. Why? Because they know that in the next 100 years, oil will run out in their country. And that's why when you get to see Qatar Foundation and the Qatar educational system, wow, they have really invested, billions of dollars into their education system. Number two, we have promoting evidence-based reforms. From PISA, TIMSS, and PEARLS, they generate robust data that inform national education policies. And that what's the connection to sustainability? These data-driven reforms ensure that educational strategies are inclusive, resilient, and future-oriented, supporting the long-term development and sustainable communities. I remember robotics. I've learned robotics when I get to visit Qatar, and Denmark and Finland is into Lego education. And I got to meet the Finland director for Lego education was telling me that there is Lego education in your country. And I didn't know that. And from that time onwards, I was able to have connected with the local Lego education company in the Philippines, which is Ielta Multimedia. And from then onwards, it brought magic to our school, bringing robotics and international connections. The third is encouraging global dialogue and collaboration. These programs foster international networks of educators, researchers, and policymakers, which can help you as a teacher, can help you as a student, as a principal, an owner of a school. Now, what's the connection to sustainability? Such collaboration lead to the shared innovation and joint educational projects, creating a culture of global citizenship and collective responsibility for our planet. The fourth, it would address the 21st century skills. And they emphasize the assessment of the critical thinking, problem solving, reading comprehension, and which are all very essential for our modern learners. Let me just share to you what we've been doing in St. Patrick's School. We have been inviting global educators in their storytelling sessions. And the students love it. They would learn the culture of the speaker. And of course, they would love the accent also of the speaker. And the students would learn from them. And what's the connection to sustainability of 21st century skills? Of course, it equips our students with these skills that prepares them to solve global challenges, from climate change, which we are all experiencing right now, to social inequality, contributing to a more sustainable future. And number 5 is highlighting equity and inclusion. So these assessments reveal disparities in performance across gender, socioeconomic status, and other factors. Now, connecting it to sustainability, recognizing and addressing these gaps leads to inclusive education systems that leave no one behind, aligning with the core principle of the Sustainable Development Goals. Now, let me share to you in the Philippines educational system has faced challenges in international assessments, as evidenced by its relatively low ranking compared to other countries. I'll be sharing also what India has been doing. Specifically, the Philippines has consistently performed below the global average, with the significant gaps areas in literacy, numeracy, and critical thinking. Now, connecting this to the global collaboration in our Philippine context, we have the PISA, and another one, we have the FLEMS results. It was evident that Filipino students need exposure to global best practices and an inclusive, transformative curriculum that prioritizes skills development and critical thinking. Global collaboration as a strategic approach could be the key to addressing these gaps. And collaborating with the international schools and educators would allow this magic to be able to really work with Philippine schools. Now, with India, in 2025, India's education system confronts significant challenges like the Philippines that impede its progress towards equitable and quality learning. A notable concern is the misalignment between the academic curricula and the industry demands, which is very true also in the Philippines. There is a gap between the academe and the industry, with nearly 50% of college graduates lacking job readiness due to the outdated syllabi and insufficient exposure to practical skills like artificial intelligence, which is now, okay, if you see the conferences, they are now talking about AI. AI is the new oil, which is very valuable to all of us. But the problem there is, of course, the ethical principles that we have to be able to consider and the problem solving. Now, despite the National Education Policy, or the NEP, or the 2020's vision for a holistic and inclusive education framework, its implementation faces hurdles such as the infrastructural deficits, the funding constraints, and resistance to pedagogical changes. Additionally, the education sector grapples with issues with high dropout rates, particularly in the rural areas, the inadequate teacher training, and the persistent emphasis on rote learning over critical thinking. And this systematic challenges underscores the urgent need for comprehensive reforms, increase in the investment, and a shift toward the learner-centric approaches. Learner-centeredness. To be learner-centered, I summarize it into LEARN, because that would refer to the constructivist principle. L, which means you have to learn continuously. There are actually 14 psychological principles behind learner-centeredness, which we can summarize with the word learn. L means we have to learn continuously. E, we have to evaluate student experiences or the learning experiences. A, we have to advance synergism amongst our students and teachers. R, we have to respect diversity. And N, we have to nurture relationships among our students. And that would summarize the 14 psychological principles of learner-centeredness. Now, global collaboration, of course, can significantly enhance India's educational landscape by bridging existing gaps in quality, access, and relevance, as India strives to modernize its education system amid those challenges that was given, the outdated curricula, the limited teacher training, and the rural-urban disparities. Partnerships with international institutions offer valuable opportunities for knowledge exchange, curriculum innovation, and even digital integration. Now, through virtual classrooms, cross-cultural projects, and the global teacher development programs, Indian students and educators can gain exposure to these diverse perspectives and practices. And these collaborations not only foster the global citizenship and the critical 21st century skills, but also support India's goals of creating an inclusive, future-ready education aligned with the National Education Policy, or the NEP of 2020. Now, these are some of the learning outcomes of our discussion. And again, the education sector is undergoing a transformative shift in response to the globalization, the technological advancement, and the climate-related changes. And schools are no longer seen as insular institutions. Rather, they are increasingly recognized as active participants in the global movement towards sustainable development. There are three important references I'd like to be able to share. First, with Mansilla and Jackson in 2021. Sustainable education involves equipping our learners not only with academic knowledge, but also with the global competencies. This was already made mention: critical thinking, empathy, and collaborative problem solving. UNESCO said that global classrooms and collaborative projects have emerged as a vital platforms for meaningful student engagement and even teacher innovation. So this would be how I will be able to present or the structure of the presentation, from the conceptual foundations of the collaboration education that I was able to have shared. I'll be sharing with you the thematic literature review of global collaboration and some case studies from St. Patrick's School of Quezon City in terms of its collaborative initiatives, and contextualization of the relevance of global collaboration in Philippine education. And we'll see later on also with India. And I'll talk about actionable recommendations and the challenges and synthesis. Now, there are actually a lot, no? There are actually a lot of literature review about global collaboration, one of which would be Global Competence in Education. And this is really very important because this is the capacity for us to understand and act on issues of global significance. And when we talk about this global competence in education, there are two authors, Beadle and Niang. They argue that embedding global competence in education systems promotes critical thinking, empathy, and problem solving. Really very important today. The second in the literature is Education for Sustainable Development, or the ESD, which means this would encourage our learners to be able to understand the complex global issues, including climate change, inequality, and consumption, and empowering them to take actions. And then, of course, we have the digital collaboration and technological integration. This has become a foundational pillar for global learning. With the rise of the online learning or remote education during the COVID-19 pandemic, many schools across the world adopted the digital platforms to sustain learning community. And then we also have the global citizenship, or the GCED, of which Korea is very well known for its global citizenship education. Now, this prepares our learners to assume active roles both locally and globally to build more peaceful, tolerant, inclusive, and secure societies. Of course, what is also included in the literature would be the teacher professional development for global competence. And teachers are key drivers in transforming education for a sustainable future. And after the professional development, of course, you also have the intercultural exchange and language learning. Japan and Korea, they are very much into the language learning. Intercultural exchanges provide rich learning experiences where students understand different cultures. And then we also have the literature on, we have equity and inclusion in the global education. Then we have also the environmental education, sustainable literacy. We have the student voice and youth leadership in the global change. This would refer to actively involving students in decisions about their learning and how they do it in schools. So those are some. No, there are actually a lot. No, if you will be able to look for journal articles and important information about global collaboration. And these are some of the reasons why the Philippine schools need global collaborations for a sustainable future anchored in the findings of PISA and FLEMS. This is the Philippine Learner Early Monitoring System. We have the low performance in the global benchmarks, and the global collaboration would expose Filipino learners and educators to international standards and the best practices and peer learning that can raise the performance levels across the key domains. And then the lack of the global competence skills. Now, integrating the global collaboration initiatives is very important and can directly develop a global competence among students. And then the third is the persistent learning poverty and inequity. This is according to the FLEMS. And global collaboration can bring targeted support and models from inclusive education systems, such as in Finland and Singapore. Okay. And then the weak integration of the SDG in the education system. And collaborating with global partners on sustainability projects would offer students hands-on opportunities to engage in real-world problem solving, aligning with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Number 5 is we have the need for teacher capacity building. Okay? And through global collaborations, teachers can participate in international webinars like what we have been doing now, teaching opportunities and exchange programs, improving instructional capacity and innovation in the classroom. Number 6, the inefficient emphasis on critical thinking and collaboration. Working on cross-country projects would enhance the soft skills and pushing students to be able to think beyond the textbooks and communicate across cultures and solve problems collaboratively. And the last one, preparing the youth for a globalized workforce. Now, global collaboration programs can give students authentic exposure to future global career paths and industries, increasing their competitiveness and adaptability in both the local and in the international context. Although India did not participate in the PISA 2018 or the 2022, their past participation and comparative insights revealed persistent gaps in critical thinking, problem solving, reading comprehension, and application-based learning skills that are very vital for navigating global challenges and sustainable development. The global collaboration would allow Indian schools to learn from top-performing countries in PISA like Singapore, Japan, and Finland, which emphasize the student learning, real-world problem-solving, environmental problems. The secret of Singapore focuses on 3 things: their strategic policies by the government, their cultural values, and their institutional strengths. In Singapore, they have this meritocratic system with equal opportunities. Now, the word opportunities, now, if they see that a student excels in a specific skill, they would be able to enhance that and give opportunity for that student. They have, of course, rigorous teacher selection and continuous development. And you know what? In Singapore, they have 100 hours of professional development every year that is required of a teacher. That's 100 hours, and that's a lot. The third is they have a centralized curriculum and a data-driven policies. Of course, they also have what they call the emphasis or the cultural emphasis on education. Their families invest time and resources into their children's learning. That's why they have a very strong work ethic and commitment to academic excellence. And of course, they focus on the core subjects and the practical skills, and prioritizing the subjects like the math, the science, and the languages. And they have the innovative teaching methods. And the secret to the Singaporean math is the concrete pictorial abstract approach. So if you have time, please be able to look for that. The concrete pictorial abstract approach in math for deep understanding. They also have the diverse learning pathways, or the multiple educational tracks for the students. And lastly, of course, they're a rich country. They invest in education, the infrastructure, the 20% of their annual budget really given to education. Now, going back to the slide, so global collaboration, this would fosters exchange programs, collaborative projects, and teacher training that focus on 21st century competencies, including sustainability, digital fluency, and global citizenship. So this connection enables Indian students to engage with international peers on pressing issues such as climate change, equity, innovation, ensuring they are not just academically proficient, but also socially and environmentally responsible. Furthermore, aligning with global education standards through collaboration can help Indian schools prepare for future PISA participation if the government later on would be able to let India join PISA, benchmark student performance internationally, and drive systematic reforms rooted in equity, inclusion, and sustainability, all of which are essential for building a resilient and a forward-looking education system. So what about the other countries? So other countries need global collaboration to address shared educational challenges and leverage collective strengths, as evidenced by findings from the international organizations such as the PISA, the TIMSS, and even UNESCO. Okay. And hopefully, these assessments would highlight disparities in the learning outcomes, the digital divides, and the inequities in access to quality education. So the global collaboration allows countries to exchange best practices, co-develop innovative solutions, and jointly build 21st century skills needed for a rapidly changing world. And of course, this would have to support mutual learnings in areas like climate education, inclusion, technology integration, and more importantly, teacher development. So in a globally interconnected society, no education system can thrive in isolation. Collaborating across borders ensures that all of our learners are better equipped with sustainability, peace, progress on the global scale. So let me share to you some of the best practices that we do in St. Patrick's School. First, we have the collaboration with Taiwan. Okay, this is with Wanfu Elementary School, environmental protection and the culture exchange. Teacher Winnie, one of the English teacher and one of their international ambassador in Wanfu Elementary School, we have been inspired by Teacher Winnie in their school because of their advocacy on the protection of the black bears in Taiwan. And later on, we have adopted our own in terms of our advocacy of the protection of the black bear cats in Palawan in the Philippines, and the green turtles also, what we call the pawikans in the Philippines. And St. Patrick's School partnered with Wanfu Elementary School and advance awareness on the preservation. They call it the Formosan black bear cats, a black bear, Formosan black bear, and the forest ecosystem. When you go to Taiwan at Wanfu Elementary School, they even have a classroom. They have designed the classroom like a terminal in an airport. There's a scanner. Teachers get to wear uniforms of immigration officers. really fun if you have time to be able to visit Wanfu Elementary School. And a standout feature was the online and on-site exchange learning experience, and um, and the collaboration also that we did about SDG 15, Life on Land, and encourage students to become stewards of biodiversity and conservation advocacy. So Winnie also is one of our global advisors in Taiwan. Next, we have our Japan school partnerships, and this is really a lot. No, we had St. Patrick's School has ongoing collaborations with Japanese schools currently with our senior high school students. This includes virtual cultural exchange, the student pen pal programs. We have the United Nations Sustainable Projects focused on the microplastic pollution. What we did here is that Japanese students had a sample of the water in the sea in Japan. And we also did a sample here in the Philippines, in the Manila Bay area. And apparently, both countries, the seas would have microplastics. Even in Japan, very clean country, there are apparently microplastics there. So the Japanese students taught our students how to compute for the microplastic, and it was really very innovative and very collaborative. And we also participated in simultaneous environmental actions such as tree planting. So we plant trees and we put names, Japanese names, in honor of the students in Japan. We have joint presentation on ocean pollution and traditional Japanese Filipino crafts, and even language exchanges. And this fosters appreciation for both the environmental responsibility and cross-cultural empathy, aligning with SDG 12, 13, and 14. We also had the chance to visit one school in Japan. Okay, two of our students went there, and I think that was in 2022. Okay, and we did an immersion with two of our students. And then we also have South Korea school collaborations. So we had literacy, environmental awareness, and cross-cultural dialogue. Through partnership with both elementary and high schools in South Korea, our students engage in pen pal writing. They send it through mails. They create letters, cultural box exchanges, which apparently we will be doing. This cultural box exchanges is really very famous in terms of collaboration. Students would be able to share gifts from their country and send it to their the country that they're collaborating with. And these activities allow students to understand values, customs, and environmental priorities, for example, of their Korean peers, while practicing writing, reading comprehension, and global citizenship. So the initiative strengthen communication skills and foster international friendships rooted in shared environmental concern. And then we also have European connections with, for example, we have Croatia. We also have Croatia and Romania. We have scientific innovation, scientific exploration, and sustainability advocacy. Okay, students were talking about how to protect the environment. We also participated in the Invent Core. It's a Romanian exhibition of inventions of students, and we showcased the innovative projects of our students, and they won awards to it for their excellence and their contribution. We did virtual storytelling sessions with our global advisor in Croatia. Also, the European practices on recycling, renewable energy, and even their cultural preservation, and partnerships advance STEM education and critical thinking. And then we also have our global collaboration with the United States of America. via the Global Lighthouse Studios collaboration. And through Donna Guerin, Lady Rocket, as you can see in the screen, um, she is really very active in terms of space exploration, um, creativity, inclusion, and global citizenship. So there was storytelling sessions with the students, space and art exploration, the edible food sciences sessions, and we have musical integration workshops, teaching our students how to use music as a learning tool. And of course, you also have collaborations with India and Malaysia and Indonesia and sustainability and spiritual ethical dialogues. So our partner schools in these countries collaborated with with the school through thematic online events on water conservation, climate justice, and interfaith understanding. And we also had our collaboration, okay, with a university at Manuel L. Quezon University. So our students were included in virtual conferences, such as conferences about ethical leadership in school administration and many more. So every time you will have a conference, our students will be part of the conference. They get to present the research papers. Okay, now we now go to the school administrators and teachers and how they can on how to initiate global collaboration through strategic well-planned approaches that align with education goals and community capacities. Number one, you have to establish partnerships with international schools and organizations. You have to be able, of course, you have to be able to communicate with them. Administrators need to be able to email them, wait for the response, and hopefully be able to sign a memorandum of understanding with them. Number two, you have to leverage technology to create virtual classrooms. Number three, you have to participate in international events and competitions for you to be able to really establish your network of connections. Number four, you have to integrate global collaboration into your curriculum, not just a club or an extra activity. Of course, you have to be able to talk together, be able to address this with the school administration and even the teachers. Number five, you have to engage in teacher exchange or professional learning communities on global collaboration. You have to let your teachers take part in these collaborations. You have to launch a pen pal or a collaborative writing programs. And you can involve the wider school community and the stakeholders in the global collaborations. In conclusion, global collaboration is no longer a luxury. It is a necessity for education systems that aim to prepare learners for an interconnected, rapidly evolving world. For Philippine and Indian schools and the other schools across the world, integrating global partnerships into the curriculum not only enhances academic competencies, but also cultivates empathy, culture awareness, and a shared sense of responsibility towards sustainable development. When classrooms open their windows to the world, they don't just let in light, they let in understanding, purpose, and the power to shape a better world. And my final challenge to everyone, to all the participants in the schools, are you ready to collaborate with students, teachers, and industry experts across the world? So what are you waiting for? You can message, you can communicate with us today. You can communicate with Dr. Kalyani, with people who are present here, especially with Ielta, India, and your school organization will become part of a global learning network that promotes innovation, sustainability, and 21st century skills. It works, It, it works for our school. It was magical, and absolutely it will be working for you and the school that you're working right now. And together, let's build a future where learning knows no borders and actions create real impact. The world is waiting, so let's make a difference all together. And with that, I'd like to thank everyone for listening to my presentation.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dari, for that very wonderful presentation. Actually, as a beginner teacher, I really learned a lot from your presentation, and I wish we also have several collaborations just like the practices that you have in your school. I really commend St. Patrick's School of Quezon City and of course Dr. Dari for really leading your school towards advancement, not just in technology, but of course through collaborations and student empowerment. All right. So once again, to let us all give a virtual clap for our honorable speaker, Dr. Dari Dakanay, for his wonderful presentation and informative presentation for all of us. Once again, thank you so much, Dr. Dari. And for our teachers here, if you do have your questions for Dr. Dari, just post it in our chat box and we would like to warmly welcome all of your questions, future collaborations with Dr. Dari because he said that he is very open for any partnership with all of you. And all right, so before we
Rita,
have
you
our
can play
question
the
and
video. Sorry to
answer.
interrupt.
Okay.
You can play the video meanwhile, and they can write to Ielta India if any kind of collaborations, because time is very constant for us. So let us go with the video, then question answers if anything is there. Then we'll come back to the reflections.
Okay.
So, Dari, I request you please wait after this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So I'm now sharing the video from Ielta Learners Development Students, wherein we can see collaboration.
The Ielta International, together with the Ielta Students Organization, aims to empower English teachers and students across the world to succeed in this ever-changing world, to provide high international quality standard programs to the English language teachers, researchers, and learners, to organize and conduct international events, workshops, inter-school contests, and to be a reference model of innovative, academic, and organizational quality which contributes to the educational improvement and supportive learning environment. Together with the Ielta International and the Ielta Students Organization, we are joining and celebrating International Day of Education. Education is not just a right, but a fundamental building block for a just and equitable society. Today, we are celebrating the International Day of Education with the theme to invest in people, prioritize education, which promote its role in peace and development.
Education to me means success. If there is a worthwhile way to be successful in this life, it is through education. Even though it takes some time, it costs some money, education leads you to be a successful person in life.
For me, education is like a key to success, which opens a lot of opportunities for self-growth and development. It empowers students as well as leaders to believe in themselves and to be themselves by supporting the causes that they believe in, improving the life expectancy of humans.
This day is envisioned to advance and promote gender equality, diversity, and the elimination of poverty through quality education and active involvement in democracy. Education is seen as a powerful tool for creating a more sustainable future. On this day, various forms of learning will be promoted in order to bring together diverse individuals, promote peace, and protect the environment.
Ielta Students Organization is important for building a good foundation in education because we are a community of students from all over the world, and through this experience we share knowledge, we discover new things, and we are always learning every day.
Ielta is a great foundation because at the same time that you are teaching someone about a specific topic, you are learning something new and you can practice your English. That is something really important, and we can share our point of view and also meet students all around the world.
On International Day of Education, let's reaffirm our commitment to providing quality education for all, regardless of race, gender, socioeconomic status, or location. Let's work together to break down the barriers that prevent individuals from accessing education and reaching their full potential. Together with the Ielta International and Ielta Students Organization, we can build a more inclusive and sustainable world through the transformative power of education.
All right, so once again, that video shows our collaboration, global collaboration within schools. Now, I am looking for questions from our teachers. I guess there are no queries. So let us now call on a stage, of course, to give reflection, takeaway. Okay. But first, let us have selfie, ma'am, or reflection from our
Selfie.
Okay. So, dear participants, we are encouraging everyone to please turn on your camera. as we will be having our selfie time, photo opportunity. So we have 2 slides here. Smile, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Wait. Okay, you can click.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Another one. Just keep on smiling. So 1, 2, 3. All right. So, yes. So now, after the photo opportunity, let us have, of course, a reflection from our dear participants and guests, honorable special guest for this evening. Let us have first on stage, Miss Juliana Vasquez. Ma'am, Juliana, are you here? All right.
Yes, I'm here.
Good evening, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Congratulations first to Ielta India for this wonderful session that you have conducted today through the hands of Dr. Dari Dekanay from Philippines, if I'm not mistaken. Well, your topic is something that is worrying us lastly, mostly educators worldwide. We have to care on our students' awareness regarding to caring the environment, caring animals, caring plants, caring everything that is all around us, because that's our first house. We think that the place where we live that has rooms and where you can sleep is your house. But the first house that we have is nature. If we don't care of nature, then we are not going to have enough ways to support our homes, all right? And even our countries worldwide. We are experiencing climate change problematics right now, issues regarding to water sources, regarding to lack of food, lack of goods. Everything is related to nature. If we are not sustainable enough these days, then we are somehow contributing to this problem worldwide. So why not, if we don't start from ourselves, after we start from ourselves, then we transmit that knowledge to our surrounders, our family members, our students, and the people that is around us. This is important, guys. And even being sustainable in the classroom means being able to use properly the materials that we have, and don't spend a lot regarding to papers, regarding to artificial intelligence as well. Technology reduces, somehow contamination, but if it is well used. If it is not, then we are also contributing to these climate, change issues. So congratulations, Italia, for always being caring on our environment, our nature, and our mind into creating politics and collaboration to work on it. Thanks, Dr. Dari, for being here with us today. I appreciate it so much.
Once again, thank you so much, Ma'am Juliana, for that reflection for this webinar. And now, at this juncture, let me call on stage our special speaker from India. She is a secondary teacher and coordinator working in the St. Francis de Sales School, CBSE campus at Visakhapatnam city of Andhra Pradesh state. She holds 20 years of teaching experience and an experience in trained protege classroom facilitator, CBSE State Master Trainer for Teachers, Activities Coordinator, and SDG Activities Influencer and Speaker. Let us have on floor Mrs. Sivalakshmi Gotetti.
Thank you, Erika, for such a beautiful introduction. And now I think we realize why collaboration is necessary, right? To pronounce the names first, right, of other country people and the
Yes,
places.
ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. First of all, I like to congratulate Dr. Dari for their extraordinary work which the school is doing in collaboration with other countries. And I am sure each and every student of your school is benefited at a global level. Like you said, the 21st century skills, the digital literacy, not just those skills, but working towards for a better future and saving the environment. I am really impressed what collaboration could do for students in a school by looking at your presentation. It's really impressive, Dr. Derry. And congratulations again for such an extraordinary work, not just you, along with your team of extraordinary teachers. And you rightly mentioned most of the schools are willing to come forward to collaborate, but time's constraint and all the constraints which you have mentioned are really true. And we also learned for the first time there is an assessment like TIMS and PISA, and India has never participated as of now. And I'm sure very soon India will be participating. And once we start collaborating, today I think we have almost 40 teachers here and educators on this platform who are from different countries, and most of them are looking forward to collaborate because we have seen what your school has done in collaboration with other countries. So we are very much looking forward to collaborate. And your webinar has covered comprehensively all the different aspects of the advantages of collaborating with the different countries and learning the culture of various countries. Thank you so much, Ielta India, for providing us with such a person who has enlightened us on the advantages of collaboration and our step towards global sustainability. Thank you, Kalyani ma'am, and thank you, Daddy. And I take this privilege once again to thank everyone for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for having your key takeaways for this webinar. And of course, for our felicitation. All right. So let me first read the citation for the certificates that everyone will be receiving for this webinar. So let us first start with the certificate for our, of course, honorable speaker, Certificate of Excellence from International English Language Teachers Association, India. This certificate is proudly presented to Honorable Speaker Dr. Dari Idakanai in recognition of your outstanding knowledge, delivery, and boundless presenting abilities as an honorable speaker during Ielta India's webinar series number 11, titled as The Future of Schools is Global Collaboration for a Sustainable Future, held on 24th May of 2025 at 6 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Ielta India would like to express its gratitude for your valuable time and highly appreciate your gracious presence today with insightful advice, enthusiastic cooperation, and engaging participants throughout the webinar. Awarded this certificate on 24th of May 2025 via Zoom. Signed by Dr. Neil Arevalo Alcantara, Ielta International President, Dr. Glenn P. Cortesano, the Ielta's Academic Director, and of course, Dr. Kalyani Rao from Ielta India, President. And next, we also have our certificate for our special guest, Mrs. Sivalakshmi Gotetti, in recognition of your immeasurable insights and energetic thinking note as our special guest on Ielta India's webinar number 11, series titled The Future of Schools is Global Collaboration for a Sustainable Future, presented by Honorable Speaker Dr. Dari Ida Kanay from the Philippines, held on 24th of May 2025 virtually at 6 p.m. Indian Standard Time. We highly appreciate your valuable insights and cooperation. Awarded this certificate on 24th of May 2025 virtually via Zoom. Signed by Dr. Neil Arevalo Alcantara, Ielta International President, Dr. Glenn P. Cortesano, Ielta's Academic Director, and Dr. Kalyani Rao, Ielta India President. And of course, the certificate of recognition for the moderator, Ms. Erica Green E. Rubio, in recognition of your outstanding and exemplary contribution as a moderator at Ielta India's webinar series Number 11, titled The Future of Schools is Global Collaboration for a Sustainable Future, held on 24th of May, 2025 virtually from 6 p.m. Indian Standard Time. We highly appreciate your deep involvement in this virtual session with your special unique style of moderation, supporting us with your endless energy levels, incredible team spirit, and wonderful coordination throughout the webinar. Awarded this certificate on 24th of May 2025 via Zoom. Dr. Neil, signed by Dr. Neil Arevalo Alcantara, Ielta International President, Dr. Glenn P. Cortesano, Ielta Academic Director, and Dr. Kalyani Rao, Ielta India President. And of course, thank you so much for this certificate. And of course, for our participants, you will also be receiving your copy of certificate wherein you have to file or you have to answer the Google form that we will be sending. Ayan, that we already sent in our chat box. Please do fill it out. Certificate of appreciation is hereby or proudly presented to your name in recognition for your attendance during Ielta India's webinar series number 11, titled The Future of Schools is Global Collaboration for a Sustainable Future, held on 24th of May 2025 at 6 p.m. Indian Standard Time, virtually on Zoom. We are confident that this webinar will be a turning point for all the attendees today and will be very simple for them to foster critical thinking abilities in their classrooms. We appreciate your valuable time and participation. Awarded this participation certificate on 24th of May 2024 virtually via Zoom. Signed also by Dr. Neil Arevalo Alcantara, the Ielta International President, Dr. Glenn P. Cortesano, Ielta Academic Director, and Dr. Kalyani Rao, Ielta India President. So once again, dear participants, kindly ensure that you have filled out the certification, the participation link for your certificate. And now, of course, after reflections and presenting the felicitations for your certificate, let me welcome on stage, of course, our dearest Dr. Kalyani Rao for her vote of thanks. And Dr. Kalyani Rao is the country ambassador, the president of Ielta India chapter, the global edu environmentalist, IBDP CAS coordinator, International Award for Young People Mentor, Climate Reality Leader, SDG Project Planner, and Student Engagement Programmer, and of course, the President of Ielta India. Let us have on floor Dr. Kalyani Rao.
Thank you so much, Erica, for such a smart introduction. And first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Dari today for accepting my request in a short period of time. And today's webinar is totally an extraordinary topic and unique topic, which I consider is every school required. And I used to invite and used to inform to my fellow teachers, always do a collaboration. It's not like only you are limited to your country. Always you have to extend your hands and share the thoughts globally along with your students that enhance the knowledge of students towards the other part of the world. And they also can exchange quite knowledge. They can do collaboration project, what Dr. Dari has been shared. So we have initiated actually during the pandemic time. Then Dr. Dari was one of our primary coordinator, and along with me, Mrs. Nirmala Devi Kandasamy and Mrs. Winnie. We are all part of the team, and we have done a lot of collaborations around 30-40 countries during 2022, 2023, and even 2024. Even in 2025, recently through one of the project invited by the Dari, I am one of the guests of the honor. So it is not today's collaboration. We have to do endless collaborations, and we have to combine the studies through this knowledge resources which is available throughout the world. So sustainability is not only one part, but under this critical thinking, design thinking, so many other topics are there, including the language and linguistics. So we have done last year, Dr. Dari, so many conferences. We invited collaboration from different country, young minds, and they've spoken around one single topic and different parts of the countries and what they've done in entire school studies and classrooms. So already in Ielta, India has implemented the collaboration since last 1.5 years. And this year also, we're looking for a large collaboration conference very soon. And we will definitely invite your school, St. Patrick's School, for Quezon City, because being a school global advisor of Quezon City, I'm happy to even invite your school to our collaboration programs. And to coming to the point, I'm really excited to know about the PISA and other NEP. You had mentioned about National Education Policy of India. So it's a truly a kind of tremendous knowledge which you proved it that you have the knowledge and extraordinary skills on your research part on especially on education and global collaboration. I would like to thank next Miss Ileana, who is a board member of IELTA, for giving us valuable insights and comments on today's webinar. And also, I especially want to thank Sulashmi ma'am for giving your time with valuable outputs of today's webinar. And definitely, I always force you to do collaboration. Hope you remembered. So this time you have to combine us with for the collaboration. And coming to I mean, we are in the coastal place. Ma'am, we can collaborate with Dr. Derry School on the ocean-related projects. I will definitely invite you because Dr. Derry, I am also advisor of the school, SFS school of there. I mean, Mrs. Civil Lakshmi ma'am school. So I can combine these schools, and if anybody is interested, we can combine as such for projects. And I would like to thank a special guest, special support from Mrs. Gautami, who is in the background now, handling Zoom and all technical issues. She is also coordinator of a school from India. And especially Arika, you are not well, but still you have given up your time and with your sweet voice as usual and your smart, kind of those our moderation part. Thank you so much for all of you, all the guests and participants here. I'm very thankful for all of you making a success and making a success. Now you become success and then only we become success. So we let us hope for the best collaboration. Please write down to us if anybody is interested. Upcoming, we create a conference and we can collaborate in particular projects and we can start running on that. IELTAindia.ambassador2022@gmail.com already shared in the box. And also we have posted the participation link. Please click it and post it immediately so that you will avail the certificate automatically on your email. After 1 hour or 30 minutes, you can check your email. Thank you so much, Arika. Over to you. And once again, overall, a big thanks to Dr. Dari for such a wonderful, insightful, and resourceful presentation. Thank you, Dr. Dari. Please stay back for 2 minutes after the webinar.
Okay, so thank you so much, Dr. Kalyani, for giving your vote of thanks. And at this juncture, please, participants, kindly fill out the form link that is given or that is sent in our chat box for today's webinar, because once you fill this participation link, you will automatically receive your certificate of participation. So please, we are encouraging everyone, kindly click this form link for you to receive your certificate. Once again, thank you so much for spending your time with us today with Dr. Dari and of course Ielta India. We are looking forward to seeing you in the future because Ielta Indians do have a lot of upcoming webinars, right, Dr. Kalyani? Scheduled for June, for the month of June. All right. So once again, thank you so much, everyone. We wish you good night for this, good morning, good afternoon, good night for everyone who is present here today. Once again, thank you so much.